Hi, Stoic community. Today we're going to dig deep into the pits of human. We're not here to lie or sugarcoat things, relationship. We are here to face one of the hardest things in life head on. Relationships are what hold us up, to the top of Olympus or chain us to the bottom of Tartarus. But here's the million-dollar question. How do you know? Whenever it's time to break those ties, whether it's with a friend, a lover, or even family, it's time to say not enough. This isn't about being cruel or cold. It's about being wise. It's about being brave enough to face the truth. You need to understand that sometimes the most loving thing you can do for someone is to let them down. Today, we're going to look at 11 signs that it's time to let go of yourself and others, that it might be time to break up, and we're not pulling these. Instead of pulling ideas out of thin air, we're drawing on the timeless knowledge of Stoicism. I know a theory that has helped great people for more than 2,000 years. Some of you may be wondering, isn't Stoicism about keeping your feelings in and being cold? That couldn't be further from the truth. Stoicism is about being good and facing problems. It's about making tough choices with bravery and smarts, not from a place because they are not angry or scared, but because they are smart. So buckle up, it's not going to be easy. We're going to question some deeply held views and bring to light there will be some hard facts, but I promise you this, if you stay with me, if you pay attention to what we're going to talk about, you'll get a better picture of your connections. Ask yourself, are you ready to take charge of your life? Are you ready to make choices that are in line with your greatest good? Values. Are you ready to build relationships that help you, and are you brave enough to let go of the ones that don't? And then read these 11 signs. It's time to end a friendship. Let's do that now, before we get into the 11. Here are some signs to set the scene. Why are we looking to Stoic advice for help? Simply put, the Stoics knew something very important about our interactions. There's something about people that's still true after 2,000 years. Was aware that people are passionate and deeply love each other. We love deeply and hold on to people and things longer than we should. Have let go sound like someone you know? Well, the Stoics also knew that we are able to control our feelings so that we can make choices based on more than just how we feel, but on what's best for us and the people around us. And that, my friends, is where the real power is. I'm not saying this is simple. It could be one of the hardest things you'll ever do is break up with someone, whether it's a friend, a lover, or a family member. It hurts and looks bad, but it's like cutting off a piece of yourself. Sometimes you need to remind yourself that you are in charge of your own life. Ship, and each relationship in your life is like a guest on that ship. Some people help you find your way and make the trip better, while others are just extra weight that slows you down. Today, we're going to learn how to spot those things that could slow you down or even throw you off course. We're going to learn when to thank those people who might be putting our trip at risk for keep them company and help them get to safety. But keep this in mind. Very important. We're not here to make hasty choices or throw people. Don't jump ship at the first sign of trouble. We're here to learn how to assess when we connect with clarity. We gain knowledge and, yes, compassion for others. Stoics thought that we should live a good life and make choices that are in line with our highest values. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to learn how to objectively understand our connections. Break out of old habits that may be holding us back and make tough choices with courage and honesty. Are you ready to take the leap? Take an honest look at the relationships in your life. Are you ready to face some hard truths? Good, because those are the places where real growth starts and where we start to build a life full of important connections. Sign number 1 on our list is stunted personal growth. Pay attention, because this is very important. Sign number 1. Your personal growth has slowed down. You are the main character in your own life story. You are the star. Story, and all great heroes change, grow, and get better. With each problem they face, they become a better version of themselves. Now this is where things get tricky. A good relationship, being in a good relationship should help you grow as a person. It should push, inspire, and challenge you. New heights. But what happens when that relationship feels like an anchor instead of fuel? Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic thinkers, said, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events." But let me tell you something. Sometimes being in a relationship that holds you back can make you feel like you're losing your power and being stuck. That's why you can't move forward in a relationship. How do you know if a relationship is putting a stop to your growth? Here are some things to look out for. Are you putting off your dreams because they don't fit with your partner's vision or make your friend happy? Second, do you feel like you're walking on eggshells because you're afraid to say what you think or try something new, for fear of how the other person will react? Third, and this is a big one, do you think you're the same person you were a year, 2 years, or 5 years ago when you were healthy? Whenever you look back on your relationship, you should be able to see how much you've changed and grown. Not every relationship has to be a non-stop personal development class, but it should give you the chance to learn and grow. Someone who wants you to grow and is there for you if you feel like you're staying the same or shrinking to fit someone else's standards. You can't ignore this red flag. Remember that the Stoics believed in always aiming for the best. If you want to be better and live a more good life, Epicurus said, first, say to yourself what you are, and then do what you need to do. But how can you change into what you, if your ties hold you back? So ask yourself, is my relationship making me better or stopping me from becoming the best version of myself? If the answer is small, is it pushing me to grow or pulling me down? If so, it might be time to make a tough choice, because the truth is that sometimes the most growth comes from getting rid of what's stopping you is the best thing you can do. Sign number 2. Feelings of sadness that won't go away. 2. Persistently bad feelings, but hold on. We're not talking about the odd fight or moment of anger. Those are normal parts of any. We're not talking about a friendship here. We're talking about a constant bite of negativity that it follows you around like a ghost. Imagine having a weight on your chest. Picture yourself fearing talking to someone close to you. Picture yourself feeling tired. You should stay away from this person whenever you're with them. That's what we're talking about here. Aurelius once said that if something outside of you is bothering you, it's not the thing itself that's hurting you, but how you feel about it, and that you can take back at any time. Those are strong words, but let's be honest. To be honest, it can feel hard to bring up painful memories when you're stuck in a cycle of bad feelings. So how do you know? Here are some things to look out for if you're having persistently bad feelings in a relationship. Feel fear or worry when you know you have to see this person. Second, do you always feel like you need to walk on eggshells? That's your gut trying to tell you something, not wanting to start a fight or other bad response. That's not a relationship, that's a minefield. When you spend time with this person, do you feel tired, sad, or angry? If not, what are your emotions? So pay attention to where they point. Stoics weren't about hiding their feelings, they were about, Epicurus said, it's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it. In a relationship, it's no longer about how things are when bad feelings are the rule. You respond. It's about noticing a bad pattern. That's just how life is. Life is too short to be constantly sad or angry. You deserve better. People in your life should bring you light, not darkness. You should be in situations that make you feel good, not ones that drain you. Does this relationship bring me more happiness or pain? Do I feel better or worse about it? I have to tell myself when I'm with this person if things are going badly. You might want to think again. Remember that ending a friendship doesn't mean when you fail, it can mean you're strong enough to put your health first. First, it can mean that you're strong enough to make room in your life for more good connections. The third sign is manipulation and control. The third sign is power and manipulation. This is where things get interesting. Don't joke around, we're talking about a disease that can get into the foundation of a relationship, taking away your freedom, your self-worth, and your sense of who you are. It's about power and manipulation, said the great Stoic philosopher Socrates, said that a person is not free unless he or she is in charge of himself. But what happens when you are being manipulated and controlled by someone else? This can be subtle, and it often looks like love. I care about you and want what's best for you, but don't get it wrong. It's a cage. That can be so nice that you don't know you're stuck until you try to fly away. So how do you get out of it? Here are some signs that someone is trying to control or manipulate you in a relationship. You feel bad about having thoughts, feelings, or wants that aren't love. That's called mental blackmail. Do they also try to keep you away from your friends? If someone really cares about you and wants to help you, they will want to make your world bigger, not smaller. Third, do they use your fears against you? ISS. Do they make you feel like you're not smart enough or worthy enough to make your own choice? That's sabotage. The Stoics thought that each person had the power to make their own decisions and live their own life. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not over outside events. That way, you'll find strength. But when you're stuck in a web of lies and be in charge, you might feel like you've lost your strength and power. Doubt and fear have taken their place. Listen to me. You wrote your own life story. No one else can write your parts if someone is. You're trying to control the story to move your plot forward. It's time to take back control. This isn't about who's to blame, about taking back your power, independence, and right to be the hero of your own story. Think about whether you feel free to be yourself in this relationship. Do you feel supported in your choices or controlled in yours? Actions. If you feel like you're being held captive, remember that you are the key to your own freedom. Realizing that manipulation and control are wrong is facing this truth is the first step to getting free from it. Though it takes bravery, if you didn't have that courage, you wouldn't be here looking to grow. Sense of wisdom if you didn't sign number 4. Sign #4. Stress and anxiety all the time. And anxiety. Now let's talk about something that can weaken things without anyone noticing. Even the toughest people deal with constant stress and anxiety. I'm not talking about the butterflies you get before a big date or the stress of figuring out what to do with your life. Challenges together. I'm talking about a feeling that won't go away and turns into getting tense every time you think about this person or this romance. One of the great Stoics said that we suffer more often than we think. In your mind than in real life, but if your relationship causes you stress and anxiety all the time, if you're stuck in this harmful situation, how do you know if you're in it? Cycle. Here are some things to look out for. Do you walk on, That's not a relationship. Walking on eggshells because you're afraid to say or do something wrong. That's a minefield. Second, do you get scared when you see their name on? You should listen to your body when it talks to you on the phone. Your mental health is suffering because you can't sleep, eat, or concentrate because you're worried about your relationship all the time. Setting off the alarm, the Stoics showed us how important it is to be calm and find peace within ourselves. Epicurus said he is a smart man who doesn't lament the things he doesn't have, but is happy about the things he does. How can you find happiness and peace when your relationship brings it to you all the time? When things are going badly, a healthy friendship should be a safe place to go. Life's storms, not the things that cause them. It should be a place where you find strength, not where your strength is always being lost. Now, I'm not saying that relationships are always hard. They need work and agreement, and sometimes they are hard. But it's a very different thing to face life's problems together and feel like the relationship is that never ends. So ask yourself, does this friendship make my life more peaceful or more chaotic? Do you feel stronger with this person or always worn out? If the answers are constant stress and anxiety, it might be time to make a tough choice. Remember that the Stoics thought we should take charge of our lives and concentrate on what we can change. You might not be able to change how someone else acts, but you can change how you act. How you react and what you accept in your life affects your mental health and peace of mind. And being able to stand up to the world with bravery and strength are not optional. They shouldn't be given up on the altar of a bad relationship if you want to keep them. If a relationship makes you feel constantly nervous, stressed, and drained, it might be time to end it. Go back and ask yourself if this is really what you want to do. Putting your greatest good first, because here's what you deserve: peace. Relationships that make you feel good, not bad. You deserve to feel strong and focused when you wake up. It takes guts to face the truth. You have to be ready to take on the day, not down before it even starts. I know you have the guts and strength to make hard choices, or you wouldn't be here. If you didn't want to learn and grow, take a deep breath and center yourself. Be honest with yourself. Does this relationship help me get closer to the person I want to be, or is it stopping me? Your future self is waiting to see which sign will you pick. Be smart. Sign number 5. Lack of mutual 5. People don't respect each other. Respect. Pay attention. This is a very important one. We're talking about the bedrock. Respect, not just any respect, is an important part of any healthy friendship. The kind that helps both sides. As the great Stoic scholar said, Marcus Aurelius said that the best way to get back at someone who hurt you is to be in a relationship with someone else. If you want to be heard or seen, you might go to lengths you never thought you would. So how do you deal with that? For those who want to tell if someone doesn't respect them, here are some red flags. This person constantly puts down your thoughts or views. That's not a disagreement, that's disrespect. Second, do not agree with them. If someone doesn't care about your feelings or makes fun of your weaknesses, remember that someone who really loves you will honor your whether they understand your feelings or not. Third, do they treat you differently when you're alone or when they're with other people? It's not a show to show respect for others, it's always there. The Stoics believed in having a good life, and one part of that good life is being kind to ourselves and others is something Epic has taught us. It's not what happens to you that counts, but how you react to it. If you're always reacting to disrespect, you're not living. I'm telling you the truth. You deserve respect, not because of what, no matter what you do or who you know, you are a human just because you exist. Respect means treating someone with dignity and care. A friendship without respect is like a house without it might look good on the outside, but it won't last through the storms that life throws at it. Always comes up, so ask yourself, do I feel respected in this relationship? Do the same for this person. If the answer to either question is no, it's time for a major re-evaluation. Remember that asking for respect isn't being selfish. It's just asking for what you want. Just knowing your worth and asking others to do the same is enough. You have the power to choose. Relationships that treat you with respect and see how valuable you are don't give up anything less than the respect you teach others to show you. Choose wisely, friends. You'll thank yourself later. 7th sign, living in a dream. 6th, I've been living in a lie. It's time to pull back the curtain and face truth head on. Having a false sense of reality, where our relationships are not what they really are. Epicurus, a great Stoic philosopher, once said, "They are not what we wish they were." We're not upset by things themselves, but by how we feel about them. This happens when we see what we want to see instead of what's really there, which clouds our judgment. The hard truth is that a relationship based on lies is like a castle. It might look powerful from a distance since it's made of sand, but it falls apart at the... There isn't even a hint of truth here, so how do you know if you're living in a dream? Here are some things to look out for. Do you always find reasons not to do something? For the way your partner acts. They didn't mean it. They'll change. It's just a phase. Thoughts like these may make you feel better, but they're often just mirages in the desert of denial. To remember how things were instead of accepting how they are now. The past can be lovely, but it's also a terrible place to live. Third, do you have an idea of how your partner should act that is different from how they actually are? Remember that love isn't blind. It sees clearly and loves anyway. All about seeing things for what they really are. Marcus Aurelius said that if you are upset about something outside of yourself, the pain is not because of the thing itself, but because of how you think about it, which you can change at any time. We need to take that guess back and first recognize it. Here's the thing, facing reality isn't always easy, being really painful, but it's also the first step to real freedom. In the short term, it might feel safer to live in fantasy than to find real happiness. but it's a prison because it keeps you stuck in a relationship that only lives in your mind, stopping you from getting something better or making your current situation better. So ask yourself, am I seeing this relationship the way it really is, or the way I want it to be? Am I facing truth or running away from it? Remember that real power isn't holding on to false beliefs that make you feel better. It's having the guts to face the truth, no matter how painful it is. You might have that courage inside you because you wouldn't be here looking for knowledge and growth if you didn't. Seeing the connection for what it really is, because we can only make smart choices when we face. Can we really grow if we choose truth over comfort? Truth over comfort? Illusion. Your real self, your future self, is counting on you. Sign number 7th sign. Giving up on core values. 7 core ideals that are being broken. Okay, let's talk about something important to you, your core values. These aren't just words you throw around. Around them, they're the compass that points your way in life, as the Stoic philosopher Epicurus said, first tell yourself what you'd be, and then do what you need to do. But what happens when a relationship makes you change into someone you're not? If you're in a relationship that someone who always wants you to give up your morals is not only unhealthy, they're soul-crushing. How do you know if someone is soul-crushing? Watch out for these signs that you're giving up your values. Do you do things you swore you wouldn't do? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about crossing lines you set for yourself. Second, do you? When you're with this person, feel bad about what you did. That shame is your honesty calling out to you. It's not peace if you give up what you believe in order to keep the peace. Remember that peace at the cost of your values is too pricey. Marcus Aurelius told us, you have power over your mind. If outside events know this, you'll find strength, but you'll also lose that power when you're always giving up your values. Here they are. Our values aren't for sale, can't be sold for a relationship, and are what the relationship is all about. A good relationship should make you feel your best, not your worst. It should push you to do your best. Grow, not shrink. So ask yourself, does this relationship fit with my values? Or am I always giving up who I am? Remember to stay true to your ideals. Not selfish. It's important. It's how you keep your honor, self-respect, and in the end, you're happy, you're brave enough to be true to yourself, and you won't let anyone change your mind. You otherwise, no matter how important they seem, pick sincerity, pick integrity, pick to be who you are without any shame. You sign number 8, which means there is no exchange. Sign number 8, not giving back. Okay, let's talk about balance. Not the balance of a Zen yoga pose, but the give and take of life. And take is important for any healthy connection. The Stoics knew this. Seneca said that there is a chance to be kind wherever there is a person, but what happens when that person is a robot? If kindness only goes one way, a friendship without exchange is like it's not possible to clap with one hand. So how do you spot this IM? Balance. Here are some signs. Do you feel like you're always the one making plans or calling people? It's not a relationship if there's only one person in it. Second, your partner suddenly, you shouldn't be missing when you're having a hard time, but when they need help, you should drop everything and help them, right? Find yourself always finding reasons to say that you're giving so much more than you're getting.
They're just busy. It's possible that these things are true, but they could also mean that your partner doesn't feel the same way about you. Taught us that he is a smart man who doesn't grieve for things he hasn't lost, but is glad for the things he has, but it's hard to be happy when you're... Here's the truth. Reciprocity isn't about always giving without getting. Not keeping score, it's about both people doing their part to make the relationship grow and be happy. It should feel like a dance, with each partner taking turns leading in a good relationship. It's not like a tug of war where one person pulls all the time, so think about it. Am I giving more than I'm getting in this relationship? If you feel like you're not valued or recognized, remember that you deserve a relationship where your efforts are matched, their love is returned, and they value your company just as much as you value theirs. For too much, you're not being selfish. You're just expecting the basic building blocks of a good relationship. Sign number 9. Any kind of abuse. Sign 9. Any kind of abuse, pay close attention, because this one is without a doubt, we're talking about abuse, whether it's physical, mental, or according to Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, the best way to get back at someone is to be like the person who hurt you. But the best thing to do when it comes to abuse is to leave the situation completely. Let's be very clear, there is no reason to hurt anyone, not even one. Here are some red flags to look out for. Does your partner hit you even though they say they don't? It's not that bad, or just this once. That's not love, that's attack. Constantly putting you down, making fun of you, or making you feel useless can be emotional abuse. Leave scars that are deeper than any physical hurt. Third, do they control what you do? Cut you off from family and friends, or use fear or guilt to control you? That's not security, that's prison. This is what Epictetus told us. No man is free who is not master of himself. In a partnership, your abuser wants to be in charge of you. Here's the truth. True, you deserve to be safe, to be respected, and to be loved. But that doesn't happen. Being in an abusive relationship is not only bad for you, it's also risky, something to get better at or get through. It's an escape, so ask yourself, do I feel safe, accepted, and valued in this relationship, or do I feel stuck all the time? Stepping on eggshells because they are scared of the next attack or outburst. It takes a lot of courage to leave an abusive situation, but you have that strength. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here looking for it. You can get knowledge and growth if you didn't put your safety first. If you asked friends, family, or professional help, you wouldn't have to face. You have the power to choose a life without harm because of this. You have the right to be treated with respect and decency. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, unless you want to risk your safety, your pride, and your life where love is present, doesn't hurt, because you, friend, deserve nothing. The 10th sign is that communication has been lost. Less sign number 10, failed conversation. Okay, let's talk about the Stoic philosopher said that conversation is the lifeblood of any relationship. He said that since we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, we can listen twice as much as we talk. But what happens when no one wants to listen? Communication isn't just about fights. It's also about not being able to understand each other. Here are some signs to look out for when you first start talking to someone. Often get into fights over small things. That's not dialogue. That's verbal warfare. Second, are you always, it's like you and your partner are speaking different languages and you can't understand each other. Third, have you stopped talking about your feelings and thoughts because it seems pointless? Silence might keep the peace. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it." This one thing is like a graveyard for your relationship. People often say that if something isn't true, they shouldn't say it. Relationships end because of poor communication. Here's the truth. Talking is more. Talking isn't enough. You need to connect, learn, and grow as a couple. If communication breaks down, the relationship suffers, starts to die. A good relationship should be a place where you feel safe enough to talk about anything. This isn't the most confused phrase, so ask yourself, can I? Let me say what I want in this relationship. Do I feel heard? Understand how to handle differences so they don't turn into disasters. Remember that good communication is a skill that can be learned and gotten better at, but both people have to work at it. If you're the only one trying, you're not talking to anyone, you're just talking to yourself. You deserve a connection where your thoughts and feelings are valued and heard. Don't settle for less. Choice less. Pick clarity over misunderstanding, and understand over assume. Pick connection over being alone, because a friendship is only as good as the people in it. Strong as its communication, sign number 11, which means that our inner peace has been disturbed over and over again. 11 is the sign of a persistent disturbance of inner peace. Our last sign is about your inner peace, which is a very important one. Stoics put a lot of value on that feeling of peace and happiness, which Seneca said was one of the best things about life. People and good things are all around us, but what if your relationship keeps keeping those good things out of reach? Here's the deal. A good friendship should make your life better, not worse. That make you less peaceful. Let's look at some signs that your peace of mind is under attack first. Do you feel like you're always on edge, waiting for the next trouble to happen? Is there a case to be made that that's not a relationship but a state of perpetual anxiety? Second, where do you find yourself? You can't relax or be yourself with your partner. Your relationship should be a safe haven, not a storm. Getting ready for third. Has your happiness in life gone down since you started dating this person? Love should make you happy. Marcus Aurelius told us that you have control over your... If you don't worry about what's going on in the outside world, you will find power. The truth is that your relationship is taking your power and upsetting your inner peace right away. I don't think of peace of mind as a luxury. I see it as a requirement. To live a happy life, a good relationship should support your inner peace, not take over it all the time. It should be a source of strength for you, not a mental drain. So ask yourself, does this relationship bring you more peace or more? This person has caused a lot of trouble in my life. Do I feel more centered or more scattered when I'm with them? Keep in mind that choosing inner peace isn't selfish, it's self-preservation. It means realizing that you can't pour from an empty vessel. You deserve a relationship that respects your peace of mind and brings you more joy instead of taking it away. Do not give in on this. Pick peace over chaos and calm over constant. If you want to avoid strife in your relationship, choose a love that gets along with your inner life. The most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. The Stoic way to move forward. Here are 11 signs that it might be time to end a relationship. Keep in mind that this isn't the end of the story. About making snap choices, it's about being smart, having self-respect, and living in line with their beliefs. The Stoics taught us to bravely face reality. Epicurus said, "First tell yourself what you'll be, and then do what you have to do." When you end a relationship, you're not a failure. It's a step toward becoming the person you want to be. It's sometimes the bravest and most self-respecting thing to do, to pick change over staying the same. Remember that you have chosen truth over lies and peace over constant chaos. The courage to face tough choices, the strength to deal with change, and the intelligence to pick what's best. Pick partners that make you feel good and push you to grow. Be honest about your limits and ideals, and pick connections that make you feel better than bringing darkness into your life. You write your own story, make it a story of bravery, self-respect, and a strong desire for your own growth and happiness. Stay strong, stay true to yourself, and try to be wise in everything you do. The silent way isn't always easy, but it leads to a life worth living. Of real peace and happiness inside and out, a call to action, all right. You wise people have learned a lot today, but remember that information without action is like a ship without a rudder. So here's what I want you to do. 1. Take a moment to think about, are any of these signs a match for your relationships? Be honest with yourself. 2. Comment below with your thoughts. Your story could help someone else. 3rd, if you learned something from this movie, please click the like button. Like and subscribe, because we're all on this growth trip together, for don't forget that you can change your life and the people in it. If you're having a hard time with a relationship, use that power wisely. Remember that you're stronger than you think. You can do this. Until next time, be smart and strong and keep working on your inner peace. Quiet community leaving.